Hello, my name's Katie and welcome to Folkstone Road's allotments. The allotment's been going for quite a few years and I've been here for just under 20 years. And today I'd like to take you through the cycle of how to sow and how to produce your own plants and your own food for growing in the future. So if you'd like to come this way, I'll just show you the different stages of going through from selecting your seeds right through to planting. So first of all, I'd like to say that when you're sowing for your own purposes, it doesn't have to be expensive. A lot of people are put off by the fact that they might have to spend a lot of money, but there are lots of ways on how to save. And what I would say first of all is to do a little bit of reading before you go out buying lots of seeds and decide the quantity that you need and the different types. And what I would say is grow what you love to eat. So with that, I'll show you some of my seeds. I tend to, when I've opened a packet of seeds, I like to keep it fresh. So I'll just put it in whatever storage I can manage. So a large tin, which can be sealed, that keeps it away from any mice or any rodents or anything that might want to attract themselves to the food. That keeps it nice and safe. And there's another way. This is my beauty box. And this is where I keep my seeds that I haven't opened yet. I also put it in order of dates that I need to grow them. Rather than the types of seeds, I put them in the dates when I need to grow them in. When we start to plant, we have to think about how you're going to contain the seeds and what you need to put together. A lot of people will use ordinary pots, which are really good. They're well adapted. They've got holes in the bottom for drainage, but some people, they might not have the money to do that, so we can use old containers, old food containers. So that's a soup container, that's a drink container that you can fill that up with soil and use that. We also have toilet rolls. We all go to the toilet, we all know that these are around, and at the end of the day we can just turn the ends in. And there we go, we've got our own little plant pots. So we use that. We use old butter containers. You can just pierce some holes in the bottom of that, put that as a tray, and that will seed to some seeds out. And then it'll be time to transport it over to another container. Old Tupperwares, things that you don't use anymore, you've lost the lid, you want to throw it out, don't tip it out, pierce some holes in the bottom, excellent. And then whatever you do, you have to label it up. I'll show you how to label that up later on. We can use proper labels, which are like these, or you can use old lolly sticks, whatever you've got available, with a Sharpie pen or a pencil. And that keeps the labels on so you know what you've sown. What we try to do is everything organic as possible. And an excellent person for that is Bob Flowerdew. He's been going organic for a long time, and he gives you easy and affordable ways of getting rid of slugs, aphids, any of these creatures that you might think are pests. They are actually part of the cycle. So we've got to think about how we just either move them along and they go to something else, or if you really don't want them, there's some nice easy ways of deterring them. So that's a good way of doing that. And we try to be organic as possible, not to use pesticides. And the government has actually decided that we shouldn't be using certain pesticides, and they've actually banned it from sale in this country, which is a good thing. So we're all having to think of new ways of doing our gardening, and this is just our way. Now I'm going to take you to the actual planting and the sowing of the seeds. So first of all, we get a small pot. You get your compost. It doesn't need to have a lot of nutrients. It just needs to be nice and moist. So we have our compost there. We just pat it down, and then we'll get our seed, depending on what we want to grow. If we're growing onions, spring onions, or onions for the the summer. You can just take them out. And there's different ways of sowing seeds. You have seed sowing pods. You would put the seeds in there and then just drop them in one by one. Or if you're very careful, you just put them in the centre of your hand and you sprinkle them on top. Another little bit of soil on top. Some perlites. Right. Some vermiculite on top. You don't really have to have vermiculite, but it just keeps it nice and moist. Just water it there. You get your tray, and that's it, and put that away. And then you know that the seeds have taken, and then they'll be ready for spring. So we've talked about sowing seeds for things to eat, but also it's good to have things that look nice, things that are good for the birds, for the bees, the pollinators. You want to attract them to your garden. Once they come in, then they will help to pollinate your seeds and help things to grow. So we have decided to grow some hyacinths, some daffodils, some tulips, and also some crocuses. And there are different ways of sowing these, but in essence, the tulips go in first because they go in really deep. They love deep soil. And then you would put maybe the daffodils and then the crocuses on top. And that way you get seasonal growth, so you get something throughout the months, throughout the years. So that means that your garden will never need to look only green, there'll always be some colour. Okay, so here we have some perlite, which we're going to incorporate in the soil, just to give the soil some good drainage. Put that in. And then we would get our bulb. I'll just put 3 in this one. Put some water on there. And then sprinkle some vermiculite on top. And that's ready to be put away. So we'd find somewhere nice and clean, a flat surface. I have a tray here, and to keep it nice and warm, I would use a cover. You put over it, it's a propagator cover, and this is an unheated propagator, so that you're not spending money on electricity, and it will keep everything nice and warm. I will open the vent a little bit so that we've got some ventilation, so that we haven't got condensation dripping into the plant pots. And that will stay for a couple of days. Then you would open the lid, give it a little bit of water every few days, and that will be fine. In no time at all, you'll see the shoots coming along. So I've taken you through the journey on how to sow seeds, and the main thing is to get in there, enjoy yourself, enjoy the time, bring your flask, bring your radio, sit, and then take time to sit and relax. The most important thing for me is to get your hands in the soil, get your hands dirty, get a feel for what you're doing, and later on you'll see the benefits of all your work. So I enjoy doing this, and if you enjoy it as well, it'll be great for you to share whatever you've learned on the London National Park City website, which will probably be shown. So you just put your results on there, or even if you've got any comments to make, it'll be nice to hear from you. Thank you.